Throughout the years, there have been some amazing automobile engines. We've had plenty of gas engines, we've had diesel engines, and we've had some amazing electric engines as well. According to Roberto over at Cars and Driver, Ford and GM have pledged over $29 billion to the efforts of being zero emissions by the year 2035. So since we see that in our near future, I wanted to take a look back at one of my personal favorite engines, the 7.3 liter Power Stroke engine by Ford. So according to International Navistar, Ford came to International back in 1987 and said, hey, can you guys make us a heavy duty engine for our F250 and 350 models? International came back with them and said, absolutely, yes, we can. We'll get to work right away. So they created the T444E, which as we know is the 7.3 liter. Now in 1993, the 7.3 liter was turbocharged, but it was an indirect injection so that it didn't overwork the turbo. But Ford said, hey, we need more power out of this thing. We need more torque. So according to Mike McLaughlin over at Driveline, Ford decided to add a direct injection and added a few more parts, which we'll discuss in a second, to force more into that turbo and get more power out of it. And it worked. 1994, we had the birth of the 7.3 liter Power Stroke engine. Now, according to McLaughlin over at Driveline, there's a few more things that helped make that possible. We had forged connecting rods to the engine instead of the cast ones. We had 6 head bolts per cylinder instead of 5, so that the head gasket could withstand the turbo boost. We also had a high pressure oil pump, which allowed for more oil to rush to the engine. We also had HEUI, which is hydraulically actuated, electronically unit injection, which all that was for was to better push injection, fuel injection into the engine more precisely. So everything in this engine is working in unison, is working smarter together, and the truck is able to run at lower RPMs. And that's why, according to Car and Driver, that the 7.3 liter diesel is averaging over 350,000 miles. The only other vehicle to average that is the 12-valve Cummins made by Dodge. Now, over 20 years later, according to Cars and Driver, there are still 2 million of these 7.3 liter Power Strokes driving on the road today. Where did they go, though? Why did they stop making this vehicle? Well, back in 2004, the EPA decided to change their NO2 ratings. Used to, the ratings were NO2 ratings grams per mile. But in 2004, according to the EPA's website, they changed it to milligrams per mile. And Ford had a decision to make at that point. Either redo the entire 7.3 liter and try to make it work, which would end up racking up the cost, and you would probably end up losing a little bit of power because they would end up having to just get rid of the turbo. But they decided to go with another option, and they decided to just get rid of the 7.3 liter, hang their hat on that one, and they came out with another engine a few later, the 6.0 Power Stroke. Now, looking back on this engine, it has made a big mark in Ford's legacy. It's what gave them the name Power Stroke. It is still heralded by many auto enthusiasts as one of the greatest diesel engines ever created. And that's all I wanted to share this legacy with you today. Thank you.